Hello everybody, my name is Felicia Chang and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I kind of just wanted to do a little sit down video debriefing my first ever bodybuilding season that I did this year. And yeah, I just wanted to break the video down into a couple of sections just for me too, because it's just a lot. It's a lot to talk about. Okay, so how did I even get into bodybuilding in the first place? Well, good question. So 2 summers ago, I stayed over at my friend's house and her mom was in preparation for a bodybuilding show. I thought it was so cool and I heard a lot about her journey, but I never really thought anything about it. I was like, oh, this is really cool, but that's not for me. But this year, me and my roommate, we were scrolling on Instagram, looking at random stuff, and you know how like your explore page is just full of a bunch of random stuff sometimes? Well, we came across bodybuilding. So it was like female bodybuilders in the biggest division for women. I was like, there's no way I could even look like that. Like, how is that even possible? So I looked more into it and found out that there were multiple divisions. And I was like, oh my God, like this bikini division is kind of cool and maybe something that I would want to try out. So I continued to look into it a little bit more. I listened to some podcasts. And also if I'm glancing to the side, I wrote a couple of notes down just so I wouldn't forget. But I listened to a couple of podcasts. I listened to Confessions of a Bikini Pro by Celeste Rains Turk. And I actually found my coach that way. So it was interesting, like just hearing about different people's experiences and everything with prep. So that's how I found my coach. And I also watched a bunch of videos on YouTube on prep as well. And I also watched my coach's video before I even started working with her. So I decided I was gonna definitely do a bodybuilding show in May. And I started working with my coach at the end of May. But I was like, okay, in order to like be at least somewhat successful, I need to start tracking my calories. So I tracked my calories before I even started working with my coach, and I was eating about 2,600 calories a day. I was like trying to bulk to gain some more muscle before working with my coach. I was eating about 2,600 calories a day. I only tracked protein and calories, no other macros at all. And when I started working with my coach at the end of May, I was about 117 pounds. I'm like 5'2", 5'3" for reference. I don't really know. They measured me differently at every show. But when I started working with her at the end of May, we immediately began our cut. And right when we started, she gave me some macros and I was like, wait, this is crazy, because I was not used to eating that many carbs a day at all. I was probably eating like super high fat when I was just tracking calories and protein by myself. But we started prep. My carbs are a lot higher than I expected them to be because I've never tracked macros like that. And we, throughout the prep, we mostly only subtracted from the carbs. I also wanted to talk about my starting point in terms of working out. So I'd been working out for about 3 years on and off. But the only thing I ever trained was lower body. I only ever wanted to train my legs, my glutes, and whatever, because I thought that if I trained my upper body, it'd make me look like a man, which obviously it does not. And I do not look like a man right now, but so I didn't start training my upper body until May. And yeah. So when I first started my prep at the end of May, I had my eyes set on doing the Texas State show in November. And I told my coach, I was like, I want to do the show. I feel like it'll give me enough time for my posing to feel comfortable, to get lean enough, and build a little bit of muscle, since I didn't quite have any upper body at all. So I was like, okay, it'll give me like some time to look better. But she was like, I think you can actually like step on stage sooner. And I was like, oh, okay. So we ended up doing my first show. It was the San Antonio Extravaganza. It was at the beginning of September. And up to then, my prep has went really smoothly. I was able to drop 9 pounds since when I first started. So my stage weight was 108. I'll put my stage photos over here. I felt really good at that point. I was like, oh, like this is the best I have ever looked. I built some upper body. I was lean, but not quite lean enough for the stage. But it was kind of like getting my feet wet into bodybuilding, and I loved it. It was such a great experience for me. I loved it so much, and that was when I really fell in love with the sport. So after my first show, I really fell in love with bodybuilding. I was like telling my coach, I was like, oh, I love this so much. I want to push a lot harder and get leaner. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. So I signed up for the Texas State show in November, right after my first show, basically. And I was kind of like, okay, it's a good amount of time to this next show. But I was like, ugh, I kind of want to do another show in between. And I saw there was a San Antonio Classic at the end of October. So I signed up for that one as well. So when I signed up for that one, I was like, okay, like we have 6 weeks in between this first show and then this second show to get a little bit leaner. I'll put my stage shots here for the San Antonio Classic. I was really proud of this package that I brought. We got a lot leaner. My stage weight was about 105. So I dropped 3 pounds in those 6 weeks from my first show to the second show. I felt really proud of the way I looked. My upper body looked a lot better. I improved my posing, I feel like, and I felt like that helped a ton. The 6 weeks between the first show and the second show, it was really rough. It was hard for me to get the body fat off, and it really messed with my head, the number on the scale. It like kind of ruined my mood. It was difficult to like keep upbeat, and it was hard to focus in general. And because I had dance classes at school, I would dread going to dance class because I was so tired. But I did bring a greater second package to this second show. But of course, I wanted to bring my best to this third and final show. It was the Texas State show, and it was the one I had my eye on in the very beginning. I had 2 weeks between my second show and this last show of the season, and I was like, okay, I want to get leaner, and I want to look my best that I can ever bring on stage. So this last show, I had 2 weeks in between, and I lost about 2 pounds. So I was about 105, 106 in the second show, but I was 103 at this third show. Prep, it was very difficult. These 2 weeks were brutal. I was very tired. My mood was not good. I complained a lot. You can ask my boyfriend. I called him every day, crying and complaining. But it was not the best 2 weeks, but it was all worth it, because when I got to that final show, I was so happy with the package that I brought. I'll put the pictures up here. I was like, oh my God, I feel super good about this package. And this was when I placed actually top 2 in my open class. So I was really happy. I was officially nationally qualified. So my placings in my first show, so in the San Antonio Pro Am Extravaganza, whatever it's called, I got 2nd in my true novice class, 3rd in novice, and 5th in open. My second show was the San Antonio Classic. I got 1st in juniors. Okay, I was literally the only one, so take that, okay, what you will. I got 3rd in novice and 4th in open. So I basically just placed the same essentially, but I got 4th in open instead of 5th in an open. And this final show, the Texas State Pro Am, I got 2nd in open and in novice. So it was a wonderful surprise for me. So now I'm nationally qualified, but I am not going to nationals this year because I do not think I am ready. I really want to take a really big improvement season and build my muscles, because my feedback was to just grow overall, but especially my glutes. And I really want to come back looking unrecognizable the next season I do compete. I want to stay consistent on everything that you need to do, eating wise and working out wise. I want to grow huge. But yes, that is my plan, and I'm really excited about this next season. I don't know exactly what it's gonna look like, but I want to come back with a vengeance. There's so much I could talk about this topic, and I honestly will probably make another video about like other things in bodybuilding, like things I've learned or like in my inspirations or whatever. But I just wanted to end the video here and say thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and stay tuned for more.